Hey team, welcome back. Today I am shining a light on a young Aussie who has gone down the pathway of college. And I think it's super important to hear stories from our athletes who are currently climbing the ranks and let them share their journey and their experiences. So she was a young kid developing her game when I was at Dandenong Rangers for what used to be called Stable back then, as well as in our 2018-2019 WNBL team Ranger Danger, and we lifted weights at the same gym. Go give a shout out to Brucey at Body World, but now she's making her own mark overseas in America. So I'd like to welcome Last Tear Poa. Thank you for chatting with me today, LT. Long time no see.
I know, I miss you, girl. Literally.
No, I missed you too, and it's so great to see you as like I remember you as a junior and you were always asking questions, always wanted to be better, like you were grinding and wanted to be the best. And I love seeing what you're doing now. And we got to get straight into it. I need to know the juice, what's going on. So, LT, you
Okay.
just recently, I know, right? I'm ready. In
Yeah.
April this year, for your last year of college eligibility, you committed and transferred to Arizona State University. Can you tell us a little bit about why you decided that you wanted to become a Sun Devil?
Honestly, it was really Coach Molly. I'm always the type to follow the coach. I don't really care about programs. And I think just like understanding the college system over here, it's more than just a program, And I feel like I just had to see who was the most consistent coach that was, reaching out to me and trying to pretty much want me to be, playing for them. And honestly, Coach Molly, she just had that energy, and I'm always about this energy. And I feel like she was just, I was just growing on her like for a while. And even when I came over here to visit my family, even my brother, like me and my brother are so close, he was the one that was like, yeah, you need to come here. So really, he was my final say, and I was like, okay, I will. So honestly, it was just most like consistent person that was just on me the most, and she was. So and even the staff here, they're all wonderful. And even just the area itself, it's so different compared to where I came from. So I
Yeah.
think just adjusting to the change is like different. But honestly, overall, it's Coach Molly, so I'm really grateful.
And how were you excited about this change and fresh start? Because we all know change can be super duper scary, but also it can be
Yes.
just like so exciting and almost like a new sense of freedom in itself.
Yeah. I mean, this change would be a lot for me mentally and physically. I think it was just I needed something different and just more belief from a coach that wants me.
And we've all been there throughout our journeys, right? Where
Yeah.
when you
Mhm.
feel really wanted and valued, your confidence skyrockets. And we all know half of being so successful on the court is up here, right? And when you know that, hey,
Oh,
they're backing
100.
you and they want you to,
Yeah.
really thrive. I love that you feel like with Coach Molly and the staff, um, that you've got this. And I want people to know a little about your game. So for, people who
Mhm.
haven't seen LT play, or, maybe they're not watching much college ball, is what do you bring on both the offensive and defensive ends of the court?
I think my game has definitely evolved over the years. I do believe when I was in JUCO, I was more of a scorer and a threat, and then obviously when I went to LSU, I was becoming more of a defensive player, which I'm not complaining. But I think it was just really understanding the game and how I can bring my body into the game. And obviously at the time, I was a backup for Alexis Morris, so it was more like understanding even in her position coming in as being a point guard too, like, there's just more to the game than just, understanding your teammates, the coaches, what they want, the system. Like, there's just so much more to it. But I feel like my game even now, because I'm more experienced and I am about to hit my 6th year of college, I think just knowing who I'm playing with and understanding what they like and what I like, and even the system and the coaches and the plays, like just breaking down everything to the T. I think that's especially what I learned at LSU. I think it's just understanding what the coaches want at the end of the day. And I think I'm able to kind of put myself in that role of, whatever you want me to play, I can play. 1 through 4, 5. I don't really wanna play 4, 5, but I think it really starts for me, it starts on defense. My intensity always starts on defense because I feel like once I bring that into the game, everything else kind of flows and just being aggressive straight off the bat.
I love that, and I think that's really important. I actually did a camp yesterday, and I said to kids, they're asking you, "How much do you score?" This and that. I'm like, "It's not all about scoring, because some days
No.
you might not be able to hit a shot because that's just the day you're
Yeah.
having. And what else can you bring to make sure you're still on the floor and you're still helping your
Mhm.
team?" And something I love about you is you can score, you can do all that, but you with your defensive intensity, you're like an energizer bunny. Like you come in to the game and your team defense level rises. And I think that's super important for young kids. And we just literally spoke. I commented on your nice painting and you said, "Oh, yo, I just moved in here." Did any prior relationships? Obviously, you said you were speaking to Coach Molly, but did you know her prior to these calls, or do you have any teammates that you know that you're with right now?
A bit of both. I'm definitely close to Coach Molly. Like the other day, I just called her randomly and I was like, "Hey, Coach, like, what are you doing?" But it's just like, my relationship with her is like so teeth. Like everything outside of basketball, I check up on her, she'll check up on me. And it's just like I've never had that before. And I think, it's more than basketball, especially when it comes down to coaches. And I think like her showing me that she's like genuine was like the biggest like star. And that goes a long way. So yeah, I'm really like grateful for it. Even my teammates, obviously it's a whole new environment. And I think some of my teammates are transferred. So like kind of hearing their backstories and everyone's story why they're here. So I mean, everyone's pretty cool right now.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
obviously, it's still fresh, but how's it been settling in? Because I don't think people understand changing teams, changing environments, like, it's all new and it's scary.
Yeah, literally. I think obviously moving in, it's just like it's been so hectic. It's like crazy. I've got, a lot of stuff even back at LSU that I still got to bring over here. And I think just, even trying to adjust to the system here. Like as soon as I came, I started working out straight away. So it was just like kind of ongoing. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. It's just a lot to deal with, especially because I'm still in summer school. So I've
Yeah.
kinda handled that and, moving in and kind of working out. But obviously I'm in a routine right now, so I'm just trying to stick to it and, yeah, follow through.
And you're used to obviously being at a Div 1 college. You just gave us a little
Yeah.
sprinkle of how busy you are, but
Yeah.
what is it like? What's a bit of a can you give us a day in the life of what a college athlete goes through right now? Like,
Oh
what's
my
LT up
god,
to on a daily?
I love this stuff. Like I literally vlog, but I haven't posted anything yet, which I should. But no, it's like it's busy. So obviously like in the morning, just depends like what day it is. But like in the mornings we normally have like treatment, then on-call workout, then weights, and then obviously team bonding. But then we have like a couple hours of like spare time. But then I normally have class like later on the day because being an international you have to be in class. So I finally have class later on, which can go for a long time. But but then after like just hitting the gym and doing a lot of recovery, I think recovery to me, especially right now and what my body needs, I've been trying to like listen and hear what my body wants. And I think recovery right now for me is just a huge part of my daily life routine. So yeah.
And I love that. I'm all about recovery,
Oh, yeah, you
especially
told me that. You know what? Yeah, you did. You were probably the one of the first, like, I have never said this, but you're probably one of the first athletes to, like, kinda show me how to, like, look after your body. Like, even I remember, even when I was going to Brucey, I would, like, watch you how you would, like, what you would drink, what you would eat. I'll listen to stories of like, your routine. So I think it was like really cool for me because I was able to hear, professional athletes at a young age, like how they look after their body. So yeah, thank you.
Aw. No, I love that, and
Yeah.
it's such a great bond that we did have, and not everyone gets to experience, a friendship like we have, and I like I said, I love now seeing you, like you're grown, doing your own thing, and now it's your time, to show that next generation and the people at your college, hey, if you want to play for as long as you can and ball out and be the best you can on the court, like it's all about off court as well and the preparation. But
Oh, yeah.
what is some of your goals and aspirations now that you're training, you've got school? Like, what do you want to do with the Devils this NCAA season?
Mhm. I actually posted this on my story on Instagram, but I was pretty much saying like the final four is actually located here in Phoenix. And that's like a whole different like world. And obviously once you like go in, it's yeah, it's just a whole different world, but honestly, that's my goal, and obviously you gotta win to get there, but I think just even, like, I've always been the type to always be a good teammate first, because that goes a long way and it shows other people your character too, but, I think just kinda getting back to how Poa used to play, and I think even in JUCO, that was, like, my prime time, and I feel like I haven't really hit that. So I think just kind of going back to certain things I used to do. I think it's just getting myself back into a routine, but just obviously winning, that's the biggest part. But I didn't come to ASU just to win. I came here to change the program. So it's bigger than me.
Wow, I just got tingles. I love
Oh,
hearing that. Like, that's really cool. And I think you should
thank
be
you.
super proud of the mindset that you're in right now. And everyone completely has their own journey. And that's why I love talking to athletes like yourself. And I think people definitely need to keep a lookout for what you're going to do on the court, but I think as well off the court, like what you really want to provide this program with.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure. And obviously, I don't think this program has probably been to a Final Four. So just to get there, that would be the biggest goal for yeah for the school.
No, I love to hear that. And I think as well, obviously, you now with Arizona State, but before this, like you said, you had spent time at LSU for 3 seasons, and I would like to highlight some of your incredible achievements that you've done there because I'm all about gassing up my guests. We need to be doing that. But I love you. Like you said, you're a great defender, and in your junior season, which was in 2023/24, you took 31 charges. Girl, that is, like, unheard of. What? Great job.
Nah, girl, my body was going through it.
But this is why I do the recovery now. You also had a career high 6 steals in one game, and I know you've got them good lanky arms and you're in them lanes and you're hustling, stealing the ball. And then in 14 games, you had 4 plus assists, which is, you're also getting your teammates open, including a
Yeah.
career high 8 assists with 0 turnovers. And that is some impeccable efficiency. That is nuts. So the year before in your sophomore season, which obviously was iconic and a season you'll never forget. You won the NCAA national championship. You led your team that season in free throw percentage at 88%, which is we would want you shooting them. And in the championship game, you notably drew 2 offensive fouls against Caitlin Clark. Now, I have so many questions to ask you now. Firstly, what was it like winning a national championship?
Oh, girl, it was like it didn't even feel real. But obviously, when the confetti was coming down and everyone was announcing it, it just like the crowd, like if you was there, majority of that stadium was there for Caitlin Clark. Like, it was just for her. But it was like it was a proud moment because, like, I called up my family straight away. Obviously, they wasn't able to come. But it was just like, man, like, we did it, you know? Especially coming straight out of JUCO, it was just like a whole different environment, and I honestly, from that point, my life had changed.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's isn't that crazy? And what was it like holding up that trophy? And like I said, I get to see you in a frame at Brucey's Body Well gym, with your cap on
Yeah.
and t-shirt on, holding that trophy with the
Yeah.
confetti. What was that like?
Oh, it was insane. It just like It was a moment, obviously, to soak it all in, but it was just like, man, like, everything really paid off, you know? It took a while, but, like, everyone kept we was just the underdogs the whole season, and no one expected us to even win, yet alone be in the Final Four. So, yeah, I
Right.
think just coming in and obviously even making history to be at the Final Four and then being in the, that environment, it just yeah, you just had to be there, for sure.
And what was that whole tournament like? Can you give us a bit of a just like you said, you're playing these games in a short period of time, there's lots going on. What's that
Yeah.
journey like?
Oh, a lot of media. I noticed, like, there was just a lot of media before practice, after practice, and even, like, going to places, there was we had a lot of security because our fan base was insane, like, everyone from Baton Rouge, Louisiana came to Dallas, and it was just, like I think to me, like, even having, like we was escorted the whole time on the bus, everywhere we went, so it was just, like that's when I knew I was like, "Man, like, we're really here."
Yeah.
And I remember the day, like, of the game, it was just like I prayed so much. I was like, "Come on, God, like, I know you got us back." But, yeah, it was just I that's a memory I would always keep forever.
And
Yeah.
you just sort of said as well how the atmosphere was insane.
Mm.
What was it
Yeah.
like to play in front of an atmosphere like that with that many people? Was it did you almost black out and you don't realize? Or like could you did that help you like gain energy and did were they like, a sixth man in the crowd?
Well, honestly, like, during warm-ups, you could, like, feel it, everyone. But it was, like, one of those moments, you had to, like, lock in, especially when the game was, like, starting. And obviously when I was caught, I wasn't nervous. I was just like, I'm here to do my job. So I
Yeah.
think just coming out and obviously blocking out the noise, but obviously, once we started our run and, we was up there, it just like the atmosphere when we started, like, pushing the points up and we was up by, like, I think 17, the crowd just went crazy, and obviously we had Caitlin Clark fans right behind us, so they was talking the whole time, but then once we, like, got the score up, they didn't say anything else,
They were
so
quiet.
yeah, it was oh, yeah, that was quiet, real bad, so yeah, it was insane, girl. Oh, I loved it.
What was it like playing against someone with the caliber like Caitlin Clark, 1, and then 2, how did it feel? What was it like when you drew those offensive fouls for her? Because that they were game changers at that point too in the game.
Mhm. Well, I think, obviously, I was known to draw a lot of charges, and I think even prioritize the whole thing. Film was so important. Like, we watched film the whole week. Even I watched film the night before the game, before the game. It was just like everything, like, it was intense, but like it was so fun to play against her though. And obviously kudos to her, she is a bucket, like she could play, and I believe she's like the Stephen Curry of women's, like
Yeah.
without and I think it's great that she can inspire others and bring such a big atmosphere to even the WNBA now. But honestly playing against her was like she changed my life for sure because a lot of my followers ended up going up because of her. So I was like, thank you. No, literally. But no, she can play, and obviously, I think just even playing against her, it was just like all due respects to her, she can play. So yeah, she was awesome.
And obviously winning the national championship was a memory that you'll never forget, but do you have any other overall highlights from that season?
Oh yeah, I mean, so I don't know how much you know, but normally when a team wins a national championship, they go to the White House. So I was kind of like waiting on that because obviously after we won, I wanted to go back home straight away, but then it was like, oh, we don't know if it's gonna go to the White House, blah blah blah. So literally, as soon as I arrived home, they had told me, "Hey, Paul, like we're about to go to the White House. Do you want to come or not?" And I said, duh."
Yeah.
So anyways, I ended up booking my flight within 2 days, and I ended up flying there. I was jet lagged so bad. It was crazy, but then we ended up seeing Joe Biden. Um, It was a long day, but honestly, the White House was definitely worth it. It was so worth it, and I think that's like, a tick off the bucket list,
Yeah.
that probably a lot of people don't get to obviously see. But yeah, it was amazing. So that that definitely was like my highlight.
Yeah. Ash, where's your ring at the moment? Is it in a secret hideaway place, or do you have it open to remind you of like, I want to get this again? What's up with the ring?
So with my ring, I gave it to my mom. I was like, "Here, mom, like this is for you." She obviously was like, "No, this is yours." But honestly, like I wouldn't be where I am without that woman in my family. A lot of people see me, but they don't see behind me. So I think just giving that, like, it's a very expensive ring, but coming where I am now, it was expensive to get here. So that's like the least I could do. But yeah, my mom's got my ring. I told her hide it. Don't tell anyone you got it. But yeah, no, she's got it.
Oh no, and shout out to your mum because our parents do so much for us
A
when we're
lot.
growing up. And I saw her just as much as I saw you when you were growing
Yeah.
up at the stadiums.
Yeah. Yeah. I was sleeping at the stadiums. It was bad. But it was worth it.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
what did you learn in that championship season from your time at LSU?
Obviously to stay focused and disciplined. And obviously, a lot of people don't know this, but when we had won the Elite Eight, we got, well, one of our coaches got like a Sharpie and drew it on our finger, whatever finger we wanted. Um, because that's where the ring was gonna be. And every game we played, not everyone saw it, but we had it on our finger the whole time. So it was just a reminder, like every time we stuffed up, it was to look down and, realize, like, hey, like we're almost there, you know? So it's
Wow.
just like a reminder. And I think, yeah, we definitely bring that to this program. Yeah, that'll be great.
And what things do you think at LSU from your game do you want to carry on to Arizona State? Obviously, you want to get back to, like you said, JUCO, like being you and just being able to go play freely. But is there anything from your time at LSU that you're like, hey, that really taught me some good things? I want to make sure I bring that over to my time at Arizona.
Yeah, for sure. I think my maturity of the game, just even my experience, and being a good teammate, I feel like that's so underrated because being a good teammate is not just about like how you talk to other people, it's how you understand your teammates too. But I think also just bringing the intensity, that's really like what I'm here for, and bringing the discipline to the team. Um, but yeah, this year I'm definitely gonna be more of a scorer because that's what I've been working on this whole summer. And it's
Uh-huh.
just kind of getting back to myself. And obviously defensively, I definitely want to be back up there and just, be a dog.
Amen. And look, we need to just speak about in general, like your college has so many more eyes on it, like you said before as well. Just the women's game is growing and growing. Like, look at your t-shirt. I love that you've brought that out today. That's what we love to
Yes.
see. We have so many great athletes, but also so many great role models. Like people need to know, like you said, they see you on the court, but do you actually know me? And during your time at LSU, you played with a big name in Angel Reese. What was it like to play with Angel, who not obviously was a great player for LSU, but also someone who brought that attention? Because that's different than here in Australia.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know I probably might get a lot of hate for this, but to me, she's one of the reasons, actually, the main reason why women's basketball changed. Like that year that we won it changed everything because of how she spoke out vocally about certain situations. But obviously, going back to your question, I think playing with her, she was the person, that intensity, and I loved playing with Angel. Like, oh, I wish I could play with her again. But no, she definitely taught me a lot of stuff, a lot of lessons, and I think just even playing with her, like, it was so fun playing with her because obviously, once being the point guard, once I got the ball, she was running, and it was
Yeah.
so easy. Even like, obviously if you shot the ball, she's the one getting the rebound. So like a lot it was heavy, like her shoulders was heavy. And obviously I've always said the crown is heavy, but she got that crown to the top. And I think just even her character and how the game is like the game evolved because of her too. So I think just her standing on business, that's really like where it starts. And a big personality shows out throughout the game and her intensity. Like, yeah, I miss playing for Angel for sure. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And I see why you would enjoy as well, because you both have, like you said 2 seconds ago, that dog mentality. Like, that is, and like you said, she was having a fight all the time. Like, I can't even imagine having that media. It's nuts. But as she was one of your leaders in your team, and what do you feel, I guess, was the most significant lesson or maybe unique insight you gained about playing alongside such a dominant and high profile talent, whether that be on or off the court?
Holding people accountable. That was the one thing I know for sure she would hold you accountable. In the game, you stuffed it up or did something. She'll tell you how it is. And I think that's where a lot of girls, especially in my generation, they shy away from that. They go to other people and start talking about it. But with her, like she taught me how to be accountable, which now it's kind of reflecting back on my game, like and bringing into this team, holding other people accountable. And honestly, I truly believe like she was one of the main ones that taught me that. So I think just growing as a person, growing as a player, like she taught me all that type of stuff. And even the little insights, like, yeah, it was all her.
Oh, and what was it like playing a home game at LSU? Because commentary on Prime about LSU and see some of the
Mhm.
footage, not just for basketball, but whether it be football or gymnastics. I was like, LSU fans, like, I loved it. I wish we got to play in front of stuff like that.
Man.
Tell
Oh,
us.
I love the LSU fans. They are diehard fans. These are fans like they would ride with you to even now, even me being at this school, they're still riding with me. And I'm kind of surprised, but like that's how they are. But keep in mind, I was there for 3 years. But
Yeah.
honestly, the crowd from the football games, that was just insane. Like that environment, you have to go. It's just like once in a lifetime you have to try. Obviously the gymnastics and us, we was pretty much like the same because the crowds love the gymnastics, but they was good too. Like they just won a national championship last year. So
Yeah.
like it can be done and it was done. But yeah, those type of crowds over there, even for baseball, they're they're diehard fans. So I miss LSU and I love LSU. So I think just having that was just insane. Yeah, those like type of fans though, I would yeah, I love them.
It is, and it's special when you've got so many people backing you, and like I said, the difference between Australia
Yeah.
to college is nuts. In your first game or, like, maybe a few games in, were you like, "Is this re like, what is this? Is this real?"
Yeah. No, it was insane. So obviously a lot of people don't know this, but when I went to LSU, there was really fans. Like there
Wow.
wasn't really fans until we started winning. Once
Yeah.
we started winning and obviously like kept other teams, like that my first year, we only lost twice. And obviously, once you win, which is every
Yeah.
sport, more people come because they want to see winners. So I think just even bringing that intensity to the game, it was just like, and last but not least, Coach Moki's outfits. She was eating that first whole year. Yeah, she cut up bad. So it was just everything was just going on a roll. I feel like when her outfits was 10 out of 10, we played 10 out of 10. It was just one of those type of, like, environments, so, yeah.
Oh, it's so cool to hear, and I love that the women's game is now going in this direction, and
I love it.
yeah,
Yes.
and I can't wait to see because it's just the beginning. But now I wanna ask you a little bit about life post-college. So, after you had your final season in Arizona. What do you think your basketball career will look like? Do you want to come back and play in the WNBL? Do you want to go to Europe, play overseas? Obviously, trying to make the W. What do you reckon it's looking like?
Oh, I'm going to the WNBA. That's always been my goal, and that would be my goal. So
Yeah.
I think just even preparing myself for that, definitely the WNBA, but obviously I'm trying to get into the influencing world and understanding because right now social media is such a big part of just my generation, our generation, and now it's just kind of popping off of like, what people do in a day in the life. And I think it would be cool to like kind of express that. But yeah, obviously it would be cool to even go overseas and play overseas. I definitely want to go to different countries to kind of like suss it out and obviously say like I've been there. But I think just even moving overseas to America taught me a lot of lessons and how to grow up and mature. But yeah, I definitely want to experience life while I can in my 20s and yeah, just travel the world.
Oh, well, I can't wait to see obviously what you do at Arizona and then what you do after that. But I also want to ask, like, what are you currently studying right now? And is that something obviously who knows what happens after you finish this year of college? But yeah, what are you studying? Is it something you might look to do, you know, part
Mhm.
time if you do come back home, or yeah, what's that look like?
I'm studying business right now. So after I graduated probably a couple months ago from LSU, I'm doing more on my business. I think it'll be really smart of me to like start understanding the business side of the games. So I wanna know like obviously how the rich get wealthy. And I
Yeah.
think just understanding that now so I can prepare myself later, not just for me, but for my family. Like I'm doing this for my siblings. So
Yeah.
I think once I get myself settled down, I can bring them with me.
And I love to hear that, like, so much, and I think that's really important for younger people to know because you can't play basketball forever, 1, and 2,
No.
it might get taken away from you, whether it be
Yeah.
injury or
Right.
whatever it is. So I think it's super
Mhm.
important, like you said, you're learning and making yourself a better person in order to make you go further in your career and life. So I think that's, like, a
Mhm.
big takeaway for anyone listening, whether you're young or old, is keep studying,
Yeah.
keep getting better. I love that from you. That is great.
Oh yeah, my mom, she is really my mom. My mom's always like, you got to want to learn how to grow. And I think just even like hearing her say that back at home, I was like, yeah, okay. But I think just even coming over here and living by myself, I was like, man, she's right. Like everything my mom was telling,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you're right.
Our mum is always
Yeah.
right.
She's always right.
And then last thing, LT, I want to sort of open up the floor to you. Is there any
Mhm.
advice or words of wisdom that you want to give this next generation of female basketballers with the aspirations of going over to the US to play basketball?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I would highly recommend it. It's so like, I feel like back home, they don't really like tell you this, but go to college, even just experience it, good or bad. Like I've had a lot of friends come over, and obviously some people, want to go back home. But I think the best decision that I made for myself is to stick it out through it all. And I think it just made me a better person and made me mature. But I think obviously staying disciplined and focused and making your circle like surround yourself with the smallest circle you can have. Because I feel like you just don't know how people you don't know how people are if they're like genuinely there for you. I know Annalie Maley had first told me this, and I've always stuck with me. She said, "Make friends outside of your sport," and I think that was the greatest advice because I have friends that are lawyers, friends that are in the business now. Like I just like have a lot of friends outside of my sport, and obviously I have a lot of friends within other athletes, but I think just hearing that advice at a young age, it kind of stuck with me. So that's my advice to other people, like have friends outside of your sport because
Yeah.
they could be from Spain and you can go to Spain for free for a vacation. No, but the whole point is just have fun and enjoy life and stay disciplined. So yeah.
Oh, well, LT, it was such a pleasure catching up with you, honestly. I've missed you back here in Melbourne, seeing you around the stadiums in the gym, but I appreciate you being so open and sharing your college experiences with us. I cannot wait to see how you
Yes.
do this season at Arizona State, and I wish you the best of luck with everything.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And thanks so much for joining me today, team. Tune in next week as we chat all things basketball around the globe. It's a Cole Well.